Going live.
Number 69,
Wait, you don't do the kazoo. You got to finish it with a kazoo.
Guys, number 69, 420, and we are back yet again. 11 live, everybody.
Welcome back, people. Hope you've had a fantastic week. This is our second time live this week. Yesterday, we were on the couch looking at the Sony State of Play. That was at, what, 5:30 in the morning?
Tired
Those were good
morning.
times. Those were good times. Great classic kids. So any new thoughts on that event yesterday, Sam? Any reflections coming down off it?
I think what we said still stands. They tried to position it correctly. It was going to be a light showing of indies and third parties, and that's what they did. And Godfall looks exceptional. Okay, that's all I'm going to say.
So many people though, because I tweeted out like, I'm not so sure about Godfall. I literally just said Godfall and then like the crooked smile face.
Yeah.
Okay. So many people were at me like, dude, it looks amazing. What are you talking about? I can't wait for Godfall. It looks so fucking cool. I'm like, what?
Yeah, look.
What?
Look, I think we're being too harsh on it as from what we've seen. That's
you
what
keep saying that to me. You're like, bro, you've been too harsh.
Yeah, I think at the moment we are. I think we need to just see something more from this than just a few bits of gameplay of the character hacking and slashing. We need to see more before we go. Okay,
I feel like they showed us the game. Like I feel like they're like, this is the combat, and from that, I was like, I don't know about this one, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my take.
You can definitely see God of War. You're like, shit, that looks fun. You can look at that without playing it and really get a sense of it. And I agree with you. When we were looking at that, it did look like, as we were saying, very animation. Like everything needed to click together. It didn't matter where things were, and it just became janky looking. But who knows? But apart from that, it was a decent showing from the expectation that they set.
Sure, I agree. So
what have we played this week?
So what have we played this week? I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm currently working on my review for that. That'll be out next week. TLDR, I loved Horizon Zero Dawn, but it's full of heaps of old style open world bullshit that it could just fuck that off and it'd be much better.
Yep.
That's the review, guys. So no need to click on the skill up
Pretty
review.
much.
You've already had it here.
All right,
okay?
save the two ad middle things. You don't need to do that now.
That's right.
Okay, it's all good. I have played Fall Guys.
Fall Guys.
Yeah, so we're doing a little thing on Fall Guys tomorrow, actually. We are looking forward to showing you guys that I did very well.
Sam is a pro.
Now the edit was we've balked the edit because it shows me losing, but it's actually Ralph losing, but because the gameplay and stuff was different. So just bear with us. You'll watch it tomorrow, but actually, every time we fell off, it's actually Ralph.
Okay.
But we actually did have a good time playing it.
We did.
We want to do more Let's Plays, but you'll see tomorrow the Let's Play, and you'll see.
I think Fall Guys is just that kind of wholesome game that 2020 really needed.
Yep.
Everything sucks. Everything is shit. So Fall Guys comes along to remind us that actually every human truly is shit, and they will literally try and hold you back from the finish line as you try and cross the line. So 2020 really needed that kind of game.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
I do feel like, as I said on Twitter, everybody, it is the new Smash. It really is. Everyone wants to be part of it, and as I said, if you push people off the edge enough, you're sure to win. And it's very much like Smash. I am very excited to see what this game does. I hope it does not just die in 2 months.
I hope it sticks around.
I feel like it's good, wholesome content.
It would be nice if they always added new modes, new skins. They're already adding. They've just added. They added a skin recently. What was it?
The chair? Did you see that chair?
I saw the chair. All these companies are like submitting suggestions, and it was literally just one of those like gamer chairs as one of the Fall Guys.
Yeah, and Fall Guys like the Fall Guys or whatever aren't to be sat on. So
yeah, that's right.
I'm sure
there
could
was some new skin they just added, but I can't, and it's like on the tip of my tongue. It'll come to me later while I'm talking. But anyway, Fall Guys is very cool, and I'm very glad that it's doing so well. I also played the Avengers beta last night.
We're going to be doing that Monday. Well, American Tuesday.
Yeah.
We played this. I played this for a 2 or 3 hour session at PAX Melbourne about 7 months ago.
We both did.
Yeah. But what I'm saying, but you've played it more recently. So we weren't impressed then, and we saw the trailer, and we were like, cool, maybe this is going to look a bit better. You've played it now, and it doesn't seem to be the case. Yes.
Yeah. Look, I've only done the first mission, which I'd already played, and then I watched some story stuff, and then I did the second mission. So I can't really say definitively yet, but I definitely feel concerned about this one. Let's just say that. Like, it's not clicking together for me. at all. Like, at all. I really did not have a great time with... I played, like, this mission as the Hulk.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm not vibing that at all, eh? Like,
And this has been in development now for some time, right? I mean, we're talking like 4 years.
It's a long... It's, 4 or 5 years
4
at
or
least.
5 years. So, look, you know, when they brought out Spider-Man, they got one character to focus on, one combat system, one animation thing, you know, that all has to fit together with that one character. They've got several characters in this. It's a tall order to make this really fun, and it's a live service. So the gameplay loop or the fighting needs to be so engaging that you want to come back more and more. That's a tall order, and I knew this was going to be difficult when we first understood what this game was all about.
Yeah. I think my main thing is that, like, there's just so much shit in this game. Like, there's, like, every character has their own battle pass. Like, it's free, but you can also pay to skip tiers in this battle pass. So, like, you're playing as Kamala Khan, and you've got challenges within your battle pass that you do daily. And you do those challenges daily to unlock progress in your battle pass that unlocks cosmetics and other things. And then you can also pay money to skip them. And, like, you go into the cosmetics tab and it just boots you straight into the store where you can buy things for real money. It's like, the whole thing just doesn't feel like the Avengers game that I would want to play. Like, you play Spider-Man, you're like, hell yeah! You play Arkham Knight, you're like, hell yeah! You know?
Definitely.
And this, you're like, okay, I guess I can play this if you want me to.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of feels like icky. That's the thing. Oh, that's really... Yeah, that's brutal, but it does. It feels icky. You know what I mean?
Look, we're yet to see what this actually is going to look like.
For sure. I mean, as I said, I've only played that first bit and looked through the menus and whatever. But
well, yeah, I mean, I feel like we've played... It was an early build, but we have a rough snapshot of what to expect. And it wasn't looking good. And as I said, because it's been 7 months, I was expecting maybe some seismic changes because it didn't look great. But maybe it's going to be exactly what we thought.
All right, we've got actually a fair amount of news to get through today, so let's knock over a few super chats first. Francois Bergman's back here. Welcome back, friend. He says, Trump bans Tencent. Let's start a riot. Hey, I get it.
Is that a pun? Oh, I like it.
It's a pun. Andrew's here. He says, today should be spicy. Also, been a hot minute since I could catch you guys live. Glad to see you're all doing well. Even Thick Boy. Sam, sing for us on stream. Go. Stop. Stefan Constantine something says PlayStation Yong stream 190 waiting, Layman stream 500 waiting. Are you winning, boys?
Are we winning yet, Yong? Are we winning yet? Is that Ralph, nearly 40-year-old doing the dab? Yes. Okay.
Nearly 40. Fuck you, man. Cezenio is here. Welcome back, dude. He says, I was mech for Avengers. I think he meant mech for Avengers.
Keen,
and hyped for Godfall. After last week, I totally switched. Thanks for introducing you to Muselk. Don't watch Muselk, man. You can do so much better than that.
Muselk sucks.
Pizza,
Pizza
Ralph is less,
Pizza Ralph's a good
lesser
dude.
Ralph. Barsakwood's asked, am I going to be streaming Final Fantasy XIV's patch? You know what? I think I might actually. I've moved into my new place. I've now set up my streaming setup again. So I might do that. I'm going to see how we go. I've got to catch up on some old stuff first, though. So, Eric says, Ralph, Warframe dev need help badly. You ever think of going back to it? I will check out the Warframe update when it drops at the end of the month.
It does seem like slowly but surely the take on Warframe has declined in terms of people. Yeah.
It has.
I remember like 2018, early 2019, it was like all the rage.
For sure. It has struggled since then, for sure. Whereas I think something like Destiny's really kind of picked up a lot of momentum.
Definitely.
So. And he says, Sam, you're beautiful, don't change. That's a lie. Speedy Gonzalez says, hey, lads, Aussie, oi, just heard Apple denied Project XCloud on iOS and Microsoft.
We'll chat about that.
Shake my head, cloud gaming is screwed. Yes, okay, we will talk about that. Don't worry, guys. Let's look at some news. First of all, our biggest news of the day, the most hype news we could find, the most exciting news that's going to drop this month or possibly this year. I'm talking, of course, about the fact the Fast and the Furious Crossroads is out on Steam. You can play it right now. The reviews are apparently scathing, and it's really, it's really shit.
So, are we going to play this? That's the real question.
Someone posted a review. They're like, I would really love to play this game, but sadly, I sold my PS2 years ago. And it was like, boom!
Yes. Let's try and play this game this week.
We will play this game this week.
Chat, would you like to see us play Fast and Furious Crossroads? I actually want to play this.
This is the game that that was at the end of the Game Awards, and it's like, why is this at the end of the Game Awards?
Because all the money in the world was just thrown at the Game Awards, and Jeff's like, all right, well, let's put this before the end of the actual game of the year.
Do it. So anyway, that's a thing that happened. Look, serious news though, serious announcements that are actually exciting is the fact that we kind of know what Rocksteady are working on. We've known for a while, but it's official. Rocksteady Studios on their official Twitter account announces Suicide Squad. And it seems like
Just a picture.
Their target is Superman.
Yes.
Suicide Squad trying to kill Superman.
Not
is
easy.
Kind of a cool concept.
But look, it's already been done every time they bring out a movie. Like, in terms of everyone watches it, like, oh god, nah. Like, it's easy to just kill off Superman because no one wants to watch that shit.
What?
You know, you get the joke. The Superman movies usually suck. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's easy to kill off. Just bring out a movie of Superman, everyone just is repelled by it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right, I see. Okay.
Anyway, so now Justice Schreier also retweeted this saying this is how they actually want to announce it. Just a photo or a picture.
I agree.
I understand that.
A lot of people are sort of, because basically it's been 5 years that since they've announced a game, and you know, everyone's been waiting, like, you know, because obviously Rocksteady are incredible. You know, they're honestly one of the most talented developers working, and for them just to be like, oh yeah, by the way, here's our new game via a tweet. It's sort of like, oh, that's surprising.
There's definitely ways to do it, but I feel like the common practice is a hype trailer, maybe barely any gameplay, but like a really cool cinematic, and then, you know, something really cool for 30 seconds. It just seems, no, I wouldn't say lazy, of course, but I would say it's just mishandled. I would have done it differently.
Sure.
Being a dev that I am, I would have done this differently.
Armchair community manager
dev.
/ marketing expert / developer Sam says
Exactly.
this is how you should announce
We are
your
content
game.
creators, everybody.
We know.
Okay? We know.
But look, there is actually more news coming about this on August 22nd at DC Fandom, which I'm assuming is an event, but it's probably one of those like Comic-Con style events. It's probably going to be a not in-person event at this point, I'm guessing. Either way, they're going to make an announcement about their game at DC Fandom on August 22nd, and we'll know exactly what the deal is. There are rumors that this is a live service game with co-op.
Okay. Live service is such a dirty word now. It's such a dirty word.
Dirty word.
It used to be like, oh, this is like, you should be almost like a marketing term. Like, guys, this has longevity to it. This has like a expanding world, you know.
Sure.
Now it's like money. You know, it's all about the money when we hear live service. Anyway, it'll be interesting to see what we actually do. What we actually see from that. But
yeah, I really hope if the Avengers is the benchmark for live service superhero games, I really hope that Rocksteady finds a way to not do what Avengers is currently doing.
yeah. Speaking of,
But again,
good stuff.
Go
which
on.
is a segment. Doom, baby. Okay, so we've got. Oh wait, which one was it?
this wasn't actually in the list.
Oh,
This was just
okay.
added this morning because it was just announced this morning.
All right. Well, you do that, then
Okay.
I'll do my.
So, introducing the upcoming campaign expansion to Doom Eternal, The Ancient Gods Part 1. Full trailer reveal at Gamescom. TLDR, we are getting campaign
Ooh,
story.
that's very Wolfenstein, that moment.
We're getting campaign story-driven content for Doom Eternal. And that's cool. I love it.
Very
that's
cool.
great. As I said, personally preferred 2016, but unquestionably Doom Eternal was spectacular and one of the best games of this year. The fact that they're releasing story content for it is great. So good on you, id Software.
Yeah,
keep on keeping on.
I definitely enjoy. Look, I finished 2016. I actually didn't even finish the entire thing of Doom. I just kind of. I mean, this is going to trigger people, but I kind of got
2016
over
or
it.
Eternal?
I finished 2016.
Oh, yeah.
Eternal, I got like halfway through, and I'm like, I'm kind of over this. Like, I got most, if not, like pretty much all the weapons or whatever.
Sacrilege.
And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I just had enough of it, right? And
Sure.
Thick Boy was the same.
Sure.
I don't think he really
I feel like
resonated with it.
It's very much. I would say it's an acquired taste. I think it's a better game, Doom Eternal, than the last one.
Yep.
In most aspects, but I feel like Doom 2016 is just what I prefer playing. It's just kind of more cathartic, more relaxing. Playing Doom Eternal is kind of stressful. Do you know what I mean?
And it felt very not really Doom guy, where you're like holding onto a ledge and then like sprawling like 100 meters to the next like piece
You were like
of rock.
Hulk. That was
Yeah,
kind of,
very Hulk. And
I didn't dislike that though.
It just felt like a weird direction to take it because
Sure.
he's usually so like big and chunky and like grounded, you know. And he's like, you know, it's just different the way that they did it. Speaking of Doom, can we do that now?
Yeah, we can
Yes.
do this
Okay.
one now. You
Speaking
can
of
handle
Doom
this one,
Eternal,
Sam. This is all you, baby.
Bethesda in general, well, at least 2 games for now.
Can't
The
believe
Elder
this.
Scrolls and Doom Eternal are coming to Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. Players who own or purchase either title on Xbox One or PS4 will be able to upgrade for free to the Xbox Series X and PS5 versions. That's pretty cool. That's actually Bethesda good.
I cannot believe that Bethesda has done something pro-consumer.
And,
my whole worldview is shattered.
Yep.
I don't understand what's going on. Like,
I mean,
is this real life right now? Pinching myself? Is this what's going on? Bethesda good? It's impossible.
I think when we see the likes of Bethesda doing this,
Yeah.
that means that everyone that has half a soul is probably going to do it too. You know, like I feel like 2K isn't doing it because they don't have a soul.
Scumbags.
EA has done it in some capacity. Within the first 6 months, you can upgrade a lot of their, if not all of their titles. Not sure, but it looks like most companies, even EA, are saying we're going to give you this on both consoles, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, again, definitely welcome this move. It's great stuff. I mean, look, you know, if you get to play Doom Eternal at 60 FPS on a console, then, you know, hot dog.
Yeah.
Just
we have a wiener.
Dog. We have a wiener.
But like, it's very different. Like, you know, it's not like a remake. You know, it's different if it's like 7 years on or some shit, and they're like really upgrading the graphics. Of course, you know, there's you know, you need to pay for that kind of thing.
Sure.
But it would have really sucked if we continued to see more and more developers come out saying, "No, you got to buy the game all over again," and it only came out 6 months ago or some shit. That would have sucked.
We've got Kelly Armstrong is here. He says, will you wish my girlfriend Jan a happy birthday? We both love you guys, but Sam,
Thank
more.
you. Happy birthday. I was like, where am I going with that? Happy birthday. I love you, and I love that you love me more.
Well, I'm not going to give you a happy birthday now because you hurt my feelings.
Right, you got it from the
I'm
the
joking.
main
Jan,
dude.
happy birthday to you. Have a great day. We love you. Thanks very much for watching.
Oh, not happy Jan. I was going to say, but
Not
Jan,
happy
That's an
Jan.
Aussie thing.
That's only
an
Aussies
thing.
will get the not happy Jan joke. Steve Caldwell is back. Welcome back, Steve. He says, Godfall looks like Anthem without flying. Dull. Hope you guys have a good week. Here's a few beer tokens for being absolute lads. Thank you very much, friend.
Yep.
Exul is here. Why are you such major Sony ponies, mainly Ralph? It's so weird how everyone's
actually like
I spend
we
half
rip
my
on
time.
both
I spend
consoles.
half my time tweeting about how good Xbox's pro-consumer stuff is, and the other half tweeting about how shit their exclusive lineup is.
Yeah.
And then I spend half my time, the other like quarter of my time, talking about how Sony's exclusives are amazing, but their business practices are bullshit.
Yeah.
Console wars, just fuck off, man. We don't
only thing
care.
that-
I've owned all consoles forever.
Yep.
Why the fuck, man? This
I
is
think
so silly.
Switch is the only one that we really don't have heaps of heat for.
What do you mean?
Like, we don't say a lot of like heaps of negative things about Switch.
Yeah, the biggest problems I have with Switch are actually
Pokemon.
Nintendo fans.
Oh, yeah.
They're the worst part of Nintendo.
And the 10 out of 10s that all the media publications
Oh,
always
yeah.
just give it.
The Pokemon Sword and Shield, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Really,
10 out of 10.
Zendru is here. Welcome back, Zendru. Appreciate you as always. Morning, mates. Why no layman hats in the merch store? How can there be such a big hat collection with no hat for the layman themselves?
True.
Possibly because it might be a, like the dead hat meme, We not want to be tempting
We don't want to
fate.
become one of the dead hat gangs.
Correct. Marky Mint is back. Thank you, Marky. Mario Shasson also back. He says, weekly donor to my favorite channel on YouTube. Hope you boys are well. Have you got any suggestions on what to play these days? Already spending all my time with Fall Guys and Deep Rock Galactic. Dude, you have already got the right stuff. You're playing the right things.
Have you played Fight Night Round 3?
I would check out Hyperscape when it comes back online next week. I seem to be the only person enjoying that Battle Royale game, but I do like it. I also started playing Call of Duty Season 5 this week as well.
Yeah, cool.
I low-key actually really like Call of Duty
I think it's one of the
Season
most
5.
polished Battle Royale games that we've ever played.
It's really
Hands
good.
down.
I think that they've done fantastic work on that game, and I love playing it.
And Dr. D's on there today playing.
Dr. Disrespect is not live currently, Sam.
Sorry, he's live.
He's not
later.
live.
He's live after the Layman.
He goes live after the layman are finished.
Of course.
So don't go and
Standard.
Google that, okay? Francois is here. He says, try Fast and Furious. I want a full review. We will be playing Fast and
Yes,
Furious.
we
Don't
will.
worry. Let's get back to the news. Guys, did you know
Speaking of Nintendo, actually, yes.
that Nintendo are absolutely crushing it at the moment to an absurd degree? Nintendo has sold 61.44 million Switches worldwide.
in total.
Which
Which is massive.
Sure.
It did come out start of 2017?
Yes, it did.
So I think we're only at 110 or 115 million for PlayStation over a 7-year period.
For sure.
We're seeing 61 million in the span of about 3.5 years. That is big, okay? And if you go a little bit down, it actually breaks down some of the biggest titles also.
Yeah.
Mario Kart Deluxe, 26 million, okay? That is huge. Animal Crossing. Okay, so Mario Kart came out at the birth of this console. Animal Crossing only came out like what 2 weeks ago or something, and look at how close it is already. Super Smash Brothers,
it's all that,
my man.
It's all that Brie Larson amplification.
It's
We
true.
haven't done those sales without Brie Larson doing
true.
a YouTube channel on it. Do you know
I
what
even know
So-
people that don't play games that I like know in my actual life, and they just play Animal Crossing.
That's
Like
true.
they just love it, right?
That's true.
Super Smash Brothers, nearly 20 mil, my man. So it just shows that like
Unbelievable
there's
numbers.
So many good numbers. Nintendo still holds, I think, the best IP, but PlayStation is getting slowly kind of up to that rank.
They've still got a long way to go, but they had a great generation PlayStation for sure
yeah.
when it comes to new IP.
Yep.
The other absolutely absurd figure is that Nintendo's profits increased 500% this year. 500%. That's unbelievable.
crazy.
Like, obviously, a lot of that is to do with the sort of COVID updraft, the fact that everyone's sitting at home playing video games. Pretty much every publisher has seen massive growth when it comes to their numbers. Nothing like Nintendo, though.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing close to that.
It's so true. If you go to any store, anything that you do within the home, like home workout equipment, I don't know why I was looking at it, but it's all sold out. Consoles, all sold out. I mean, there's just all these things that exist in the home are like completely sold out. So we've also seen Xbox also do very well in the last quarter, and they needed the win, man. They
Sure.
needed the win big time. Speaking of wins, with China, I don't know.
China, our top
Whatever.
story. Do the sound test. Where's the kazoo?
Oh, where is the? Well,
It's too late now. You've already missed it.
Nah,
You've already
we're
missed
in
it.
now.
Guys, the Twitter exploded yesterday with the news that Donald Trump was basically banning Tencent, and it was like, wait, what? So this is a bit of a complicated story to unpack, okay? And we don't know all the details because it's all government-y stuff and whatever else. But
More details have emerged.
More details have emerged, but it kind of starts with the fact that, like, China and the US, they got a thing going on where they're not happy with each other, okay?
Yep.
One of the frontiers of their disagreement is, like, digital, right? It's to do with data, security, apps, okay? Because a lot of apps now collect a lot of information. TikTok raised the flag with the amount of data it collected. Now, it has been potentially debunked that TikTok collected this inordinate amount of data. Some people say it does, some people say it doesn't. I don't know either way, okay? But either way, it definitely became a huge talking point that TikTok collects a huge amount of data, and because it's Chinese owned, the Chinese can like reach into that data whenever they like, and that becomes a potential security risk for the likes of America and other sovereign nations.
The articles that I've read on this is the People's Republic of China have some sort of document with all these major companies that they have to give over that data every year or whatever, so they have access to it, kind of thing.
Sure.
So that data, if that is correct, is always at the ready to look at.
And
now,
I'm sure that if Chinese government wanted to take something from any company in their entire, like, in their country, they would just be like,
would
give
just
us this.
do it.
And the person would be like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it works. But anyway, so TikTok, so America then started being like, hey, we're going to ban TikTok. And then all these TikTok teenagers who sit there twerking were like, holy shit,
my whole life
have to get a job now. You know what I mean? So anyway, that happened, and Trump talked about the fact that he was going to ban TikTok as soon as this weekend, or last weekend, I should say. What's happened since then is that he has now signed this executive order, which essentially bans financial transactions with TikTok's owner, and also in relation to a service called WeChat, which is another Chinese, which is a Chinese chat service, essentially. And it is essentially owned by Tencent, okay? This executive order does specifically call out the fact that transactions with Tencent are prohibited. But within that order, it also makes clear that they will decide which transactions are prohibited, right? What happened with video game Twitter was that everyone saw, oh my god, Tencent, it's getting banned. Trump just banned video games because Tencent own like Riot Games. They have a huge stake in Epic Games, like Shark Mob and all these other devs that you may or may not have heard of. Tencent owns them or has a stake in them. Okay, so the video game Twitter was like, oh my god, video games are banned. Trump just banned video games. What the hell, man? Gamers rise up. Okay. Turns out that no, that's not the case, and it was clarified later on that video game companies owned by Tencent will not be affected by this executive order. White House officials confirmed to the LA Times that the executive order only blocked transactions related to WeChat, so Riot Games, League of Legends, Epic Games, Fortnite, et al. Are safe. So, yes.
Yes. I look, there's also in the mix, which you've probably already seen, that Microsoft is looking to acquire TikTok in the States. Now, that was apparently put on hold for a while, and then Microsoft spoke to Trump. This is what I literally read in an article, that they actually had some sort of conversation with Trump, and then the negotiation was able to continue. The only way I see this actually going away is if, in fact, TikTok is sold to Microsoft, or this is going to be a constant thing that is brought up, and it's going to be a constant worry and national security that they keep putting forward about data.
But now, what's crazy though, just sorry to interrupt you, is that they're worried about Chinese collecting data, right? Personal data from people on TikTok or whatever. But the fact is, when we sign up to play Riot Games or whatever, we submit our personal information. Do you know what I mean? And there's chat logs within that as well if you want to talk specifically about chat. I wonder whether or not the US government is just going to get too trigger happy on this and be like, you know what? Video games, the data collection is too risky.
Yeah.
We can't let Tencent do this. And then it forces the sale of Riot Games back to some American, whatever.
Totally.
Because you're not allowed to play. Honestly, that's real pie in the sky stuff. But if they're legitimately concerned about data collection, my suspicion, though, is they're not really legitimately concerned about this stuff. It's just political posturing.
I think it's just a chess game right now. You know.
Sure.
But look, what's going to happen? China's going to be like, well, you guys can't use Microsoft Word. I mean, do they even use Microsoft Word? I don't even know what the predominant word thing there is. But it just becomes this tit for tat thing. But it's interesting to see what happens in this space. But all I know is, it's not looking good for you TikTokers.
It is not looking good.
First teenagers.
Exactly right.
Charlie D'Amelio, I think, or whatever her name is, the biggest TikToker.
Okay.
She's got 80 million, and she makes $100,000 per placement. I think she just places G Fuel or some shit, right?
Sure.
And dances, and then she gets $100,000 US, which is $1 million Aussie. So that's
give us a
lot of
twerk
money.
demonstration now?
Ralph, would you? I think Ralph would like to do it.
I think you are the twerk expert. You always talk to me off camera about how strong
Ralph,
your twerk game is.
Ralph said if he
now here you are
YouTube,
flubbing it.
If he didn't do YouTube, he wanted to be a full-time twerker. So he can do that, guys, in the future. But anyway,
TLDR, gamers right now are safe, okay? You can still play League of Legends. There's no risk of you accidentally getting a girlfriend, okay? You can still stay home and play League all day long. It's fine.
Just quickly, actually, speaking of that, someone just in the chat, the Diablo Immortal China trailer.
Yes.
Do we have this in here? No.
We don't have that in here.
Yeah, well, quickly, I mean, that's crazy to see that they've brought out a new trailer. Did anyone else know about this trailer? No, they specifically didn't show the Western market. That is looking to me that they're like, well, we're going to bring this out maybe on Google Play, but we're not going to promote it. This is going to be like the Silent Man or whatever it is for Square Enix.
The Quiet Man.
The Quiet Man.
Release it with no marketing.
Just release it with no marketing. But in China, they'll market the hell out of this thing.
Guys, Grant Shanks is here. He says Layman branded kazoo when?
Ooh,
that would sell.
I would do that.
Think it would sell. Mel P for $20. Thank you very much. Good morning, boys. Hope you're staying safe. I'm so excited. Not study today and play some Fall Guys. Damn, that's
a good way.
How good would Fall Guys on mobile be, by the way?
Oh my god,
just anytime. It's
they can do it.
100%. They'll make it happen for sure. Ryan Bailey says, got the day off work. I'm sick. Love watching you guys. Have a beer on me. Thank you, friend.
Is it because you're sick, but really you just want a day off? We've all done that, right?
Sicky, mate.
We've all done that. It's all good.
Josh Curley says, Splinter Cell is the next Rainbow Six Siege operator. I assume you mean Sam Fisher.
Oh, legit leaked.
I don't know about that. Well, if that's true, cool. If it's not true,
that would be a great setup.
That would be a sad troll for you, my friend, and we don't like you.
Yeah.
But if it is true, that's cool. I like that. So we'll look into that. Scavin says, talk dirty to me, layman boys. Live services, take me. Robert Delore with $50. Thank you, friend.
Thank you.
Extremely
Roberto De La Torre.
Roberto De La Torre, great name. Where do I find naked pics of the thick one? Well, you need to be more specific when you say the thick one.
Star Wars Jabba the Hutt. You just type that into Google, and Alec and Thick Boy will come up.
Good jokes.
Nice.
Angel Grunt says, award season begins with Sony awarding The Last of Us 2 with PlayStation Editor's Choice Award. Could this be bellwether? I actually saw that, by the way. The PlayStation blog awarded The Last of Us 2 with an Editor's Choice Award.
And it's if The Last of Us came out on Nintendo, it would have got a 12 out of 10.
I am giving the Layman Gaming podcast, Layman Gaming Weekly Show, the Layman Gaming Editor's Choice Award for quality content, personally, because I really feel like Layman Weekly
Layman's just exceptional. I think
it deserves that badge of honor.
Yeah.
So
we're not associated with it at all. We just want to say from afar that it's damn good content.
Correct.
Anyway.
Now, guys, one big story that broke yesterday, like the very same minute that this game was released, was in relation to Aeon Must Die. Now, Aeon Must Die, you might remember, was that really cool looking trailer that was kind of like, how would you describe it now? I can like see it, but I can't describe it because it's so distinctive. It looks like Tron, right?
The fighting game Tron, you mean?
Yeah, that fighting game Tron thing.
It looked like a fighting game Tron with like a like mech.
Yes.
Yeah, like very, very bright, very res.
And like little sort of Iron Man-esque characters fighting each other. Incredible art style, essentially. Looked really great. Everyone was like, wow, what is that game?
Yeah.
Holy hell. Yeah. Turns out that
I wanted to jump on it. It looked so fantastic. But yeah, you go. It doesn't seem like it was all sunshine and rainbows.
As soon as that trailer dropped, someone started tweeting out about the fact that there's lots of issues with this developer. The main tweet that's done the rounds here is this one from Doomstroll Extraordinaire, who says, all Aeon Must Die devs quit the studio this week due to crunch and a lack of payments, and the trailer was outsourced to artists without contracts. Yeah. So what he's done here, he provides a Dropbox, and within this Dropbox is all this documentation, letters of resignation, stories that detail like stories of abuse that took place there with management, allegations against the CEO who apparently tricked people into giving him the IP, and then he kind of pushed people out. All of these are allegations, not proven, whatever else. But it does seem like this game is pretty boned right now because they kind of don't have a development team and there's all this drama surrounding it.
When it says all devs quit, I wonder if that's like all or just like that is really trying to emphasize the point that this is bare bones stuff now. I don't know. But like this hurts the game big time. We are really in at the moment a certain stage of gaming development where people are becoming aware of the internal struggles and the internal process, and when that's out of sync or if there's some seriously shit things going on, that does, and rightfully so, should affect the game. I think if you're going to treat your developers like shit, then bring out a game and it sells like gangbusters and no one talks about it and no one reacts to the mistreatment, that's not a good thing. I'd rather that if this stuff is going on internally, this should affect your game. I don't think it's fair that this game sells gangbusters. People aren't paid. They're abused emotionally or whatever. And you know what I mean? And then I do. So this is a necessary thing. If this is a necessary thing, if the game doesn't do too well in the future for other development studios to take note and hopefully have a better work culture.
For sure, I agree. Focus Home Interactive, who are actually publishing this game, put out a statement on this just this morning, and they said essentially that we were informed of serious allegations raised by some of the developers at Limestone who have worked on the creation of the video game Aeon Must Die. These grievances are directed at Limestone, their direct employer. As the publisher of this video game, Focus is carefully looking into these allegations and will draw the necessary conclusions if they are proved to be well-founded, and then take all appropriate measures. The problem was that Focus were actually informed about this quite some time ago, right? Like a long time ago, and yet this is still progressing, and the trailer still went out as part of this reveal thing. And so a lot of people aren't having this statement. Like one example here, Brad Tiller says, this response comes across as very insincere, considering the dev team emailed you their grievances months ago, hoping for your support in successfully launching this game. Instead, you outed them to their boss. One of the allegations was that the staff actually had all this correspondence with Focus, sent them letters and emails and stuff, and then Focus apparently forwarded these on to the CEO, who was then able to use them as ammunition in further abuse and mistreatment or whatever else. Again, all of this is allegations. We don't know, but that's certainly what's being claimed right now. Focus don't look good within this. It's a shame because Focus have been on a good run. They've done some great work lately, putting out some really good quality sort of like AA titles. But yeah, obviously if they're not treating their people right or treating their studios right, etc., then that really needs to be dealt with.
There is the possibility, even if it's small, that Focus sent those in a way to be like, hey, this is the state right now of your studio, and this is what the allegations are. You need to act on these, and it really backfired big time. It's not the way to handle it, but maybe that was their train of thought, that they were like, we need to show you the evidence that we need to tell you that you're actually not doing the right thing now, and it just backfired. Who knows? Speaking of shit,
well, hang on, let's do some super chats. They're not shit. We love the super chats.
Yeah, that's not a good transition.
Clint says, pitching it for rent. Thank you very much, Clint. Yes, it is. And then someone with a really, really Russian name, I think. I cannot even. I cannot pronounce it.
Yes.
He says, have a fiber.
It
could be Russian. It could also be something else, but I think it's Russian. He said, and then there's Remy Abrams, who became a member. Thank you, Remy. We appreciate that a lot.
Thank you.
I don't know if my thick boy jumper stonks have gone up because there's more Alec. Or that every layman is a thick boy now. Stay thick, the boys. That's from Nathan. Thank you very much, friend. We appreciate when people call us fat.
Yes.
We love that. It's always good vibes and good feels.
Yes. So the Apple, man.
God, I hate Apple
so much. Where do we start?
Look, I despise Apple.
We all jumped on the Apple train. Once upon a time, it was 2008. It was pretty fetch. Apple products were pretty cool. 10 years, 12 years later, I think a lot of people now, that they know what Apple's all about. Extremely high prices, fine, fantastic build quality, but all in all,
$1,000 for a monitor. For a monitor stand.
Yeah, and $900 for the actual wheels that click into the bottom of the ridiculous, right? Now, Apple is famous for wanting to, keep their ecosystem so tight so they control everything, especially when they have their own products on the horizon and their own things that they want to push out in the future. Apple has come out and said that Xbox iCloud, the Xbox Project X XCloud, there we go, is going to be blocked for now at least due to its a violation of their policies, some garbage like that. We all know what this is. This is them not wanting to have Project XCloud on iOS because it's going in direct competition to their new Apple Arcade. And they have their own potential streaming plans for the future. And this, if they have Microsoft's entire ecosystem, entire install base already jumping on the XCloud, why would I go to the Apple Arcade store? It sucks, and Apple knows this. And instead of going back to the drawing board and going, we may need to fix our products, they're just like, oh, sorry, you can't have your XCloud on here because violation of policies. It's just a shit thing, and it's just classic Apple, man.
It is. So, look, basically, XCloud, they did a beta test. They can't find a way. They've said essentially they can't find a way forward with Apple with regards to getting XCloud launched on that platform. So it's not going to happen until Apple updates their policy. It is just blatant sort of hypocrisy, given the fact that, for example, Netflix exists and it's a streaming platform that allows
Spotify, man.
And Spotify, which means that movies and music can exist through streaming platforms on Apple Store.
Ridiculous.
But Apple says, this is what it said. They said they want to individually review every single game that is put up through XCloud. That's what they said. So they don't want to review every song that goes up on Spotify. They don't want to review every TV show or movie that goes up on Netflix. But they want to review every game that XCloud has available, because apparently Microsoft can't be trusted, and they're going to put porn up or something on the Apple Store or whatever. You know what I mean? It's a complete joke, and it makes me mad because, again, I haven't bought an Apple product in over 6 years, because
I have an iPad.
A long time ago, I realized, oh wait, that's how they do this? Fuck that, And I was like, I'm not going to be walled in by their bullshit, and I want to have devices I can do whatever I want with them. But a lot of people are trapped in this ecosystem, and they want to be able to play XCloud. They want to be able to play streaming stuff. Even Stadia, by the way, is also affected by this. Yep. They're not going to allow Stadia. Cry. Oh,
damn.
Well, Small Violin, so sad.
Orcs Must Die, I can't play
but
it. But
the Serious Sam 4, what a shame. But this is a thing that will affect a lot of people, because a lot of people are Xbox fans and they only have Apple devices and they won't be able to play on their devices because of this.
And even if they're not Xbox fans, it sounds like Project XCloud is ready to go compared to PS Now, for instance, in terms of it's probably going to be out the gate first. There's a lot of games that people just want to play on their phones regardless. It doesn't. I really feel like when the streaming wars begin, it'll be very much less about what console you have, but what games you want to play, right? You're probably going to have PS Now and XCloud on those devices, and this is going to cost Apple big time. I've already seen on Twitter people come out saying, cool, my next phone's an Android, because they're like, gaming is what they're all about, and that's what they do, or that's what they want to do on the bus or whatever. It's like, It's the non-smoker's cigarette now. It's going to be like, if I can just chill waiting for a bus, I'm going to jump on my phone and play some XCloud. Like,
Sure.
why not, right?
Sure.
They are doing themselves such a disservice. And it's just like, I knew ages ago when I saw these people lining up for the new iPhone and stuff, I'm like, guys, wake up, you sheep, you know? No, don't do this anymore. Because like people just get so engrossed in the Apple mania.
Yeah.
But they're not really aware of like what they're actually getting, a very curated experience to the point where they completely control what they want you to do with their products.
Fuck that.
And that's just not cool, man. You know? I mean, I have Mario Sunshine on my phone right now with my emulator and shit like that.
Which he also owns legally. He also owns a copy of it legally, and that exists just as a backup copy because he owns it legally.
That's what I mean.
right.
But you know, you can't do that without completely jailbreaking the phone and shit.
Sure.
Anyway, there's just so much to Apple that I just don't agree with. And the pricing is the worst part about it.
Agreed. Defish is here. He says, insert witty comment here for £20. That's witty enough itself, my friend. Thank you very much.
Nice.
Morning, boys, says Patty. He says, nothing like getting laid when I wake up. Nice. I like that. That's
What did he say?
He says, nothing like getting laid.
Ah, nice.
I like that. It's very good.
I like to have a coffee first, but anyway.
Francois says, another good reason to buy an Android phone. Correct. James
True.
Kong says, happy weekend, my dudes. Don't listen to the haters. You're both looking like snacks. Love from Canada.
Did anyone say
and
that we
to
didn't
hate
look like
Appen.
snacks?
Well, it's possible to be a
Jesus.
thick snack.
Like a picnic.
Like
Those picnic
That
bars.
is
They're pretty
picnic.
thick and nutty.
Guys, the other thing that in relation to Xbox is that Xbox Live is not being changed. There were rumors recently that Xbox Live was suddenly going to get some massive change, all these rumblings. There was a lot of talk that potentially Xbox Live was being deleted and that you're just going to be able to play on consoles for free, just like you can on a PC. But alas, no, Microsoft are like, hey, this is here to stay.
I never thought it was going because it just is too much money for them to lose for no... Look, I think it's pro-consumer to get rid of it.
Exactly.
But like, you know, we've seen the PS3, they changed their tune, you know, like they were like, well, actually, let's start making people get charged for it. Nintendo Switch did the same thing in the middle of this console cycle.
Sure.
Before, Switch was free. Now they're like, by the way, you've got to pay for it for reasons.
Sure.
You know, like it's just free money that they know the consumer will pay for. Which is a shame, but when I saw this headline about a week or two ago, I was like, I don't know, man, that doesn't sound like they would only... The only reason I thought they would do this is because they might package it up as XCloud and Game Pass and whatever to promote the XCloud and the Game Pass, but it doesn't seem to be the case.
Sure.
This is something also, by the way, I can't see the difference apart from the bottom area. Is
Okay.
that it?
Yes, that is it. Okay,
That is it.
This is the story with this one, right? So basically, Microsoft had their optimized for Series X logo that they put on boxes.
Yeah.
And everyone was memeing the shit out of this because look at the size of that fucking logo.
It's pretty big.
It literally just takes up like a quarter of the box,
Yes.
okay? So there were all these memes of any game ever having like cool box art and you just stick a giant optimized for Series X logo over the top of it. It seems like Microsoft have listened to this, or at least in the case of Dirt 5, and they have removed that.
I think that there's a space maybe for it, but I don't
Sure.
think... Like, under Xbox Series X at the very top, maybe there can just be a logo that we all get to know, and it just says, optimized or some shit, right? But I don't believe it, like, deserves backlash or something. Like,
A lot of people really hated it.
it's not the end of the world, everybody.
No, it's not the end of the world.
But
so
speaking of end of the world, well,
Wow.
it nearly was for the island of Tsushima, but history, the Mongols did not win, okay?
wow, that was awful.
That was terrible.
Anyway, it turns out people really like Ghost of Tsushima in Japan, right? This is another thing where Japan has actually provided really high review scores for this game.
Yep.
Recently, the director of the Yakuza series came out and said, damn it, that should have been ours.
Yep.
Japan should have made that game, he said, but he really loved it and he was really like glad that it was made. And then this statistic here, very interesting. After only 3 weeks of sales, Ghost of Tsushima is already the second best-selling game lifetime for a PlayStation first-party studio in Japan on PS4. SpiderMan was number 1. However, at roughly 300k physical sales, Ghost of Tsushima isn't far behind and will surpass it in the coming weeks.
I mean, I'm sure it will. I think that it was such a hit out of the park. It was
Such
one
a
of the
great
best
game.
games I think I've ever played. Like, it was literally one of the best games of this generation. It's up there with God of War. Like, it's not as good as God of War, but like, it was really, really fantastic to see this go so well. To see that there's no like there's no controversy with this.
Sure.
There's no review bombing.
Sure.
There's none of this garbage. Everyone's like, this is a solid product.
Yeah.
They've put a lot of work into it, and I'm going to give it the review it deserves.
Yep.
And everyone's just loving it,
It is.
And it's such a different climate from only a few weeks ago from The Last of Us, Like when people like jump onto this game, they're just enjoying it and they're just playing it,
It's so weird as well because I'm still 90% certain that The Last of Us will get Game of the Year this year from the Game Awards because it's so heavily weighted towards critics. And I'm going to be very mad when that happens, to be honest with you. Because I think there are so many other games that have come out this year that, I think are better. But regardless, whatever, subjectivity is one thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, there are so many games that people have just gotten behind. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at Animal Crossing, for example, if you look at Ghost of Tsushima, just really beloved games that are fantastic, top quality experience, and people love them. So if Ghost of Tsushima, if Last of Us 2 wins...
Yeah,
it's going to be frustrating.
I think it's
really
very
frustrating.
I think it'll be a really interesting moment if it does, because it shows that the Game Awards does not care about public sentiment. Like it'll only care.
Don't care. Like that's. It's not like they're like, oh fuck you, people. It's just like I think critics feel so strongly about The Last of Us.
I think that the public opinion should be a very important factor in what wins the game of the year. And by saying don't care in terms of it's so low on their priorities, if it wins, like Death Stranding, that didn't have a shot, really. Let's be real. It didn't.
No. And
Sekiro
I actually love Death Stranding.
But one of my favourite games.
But I actually said last year, I'm like, I don't think Death Stranding would win because it was so divisive. Because there were so many people who didn't like it.
And this is still divisive. So if this was to win, but this is different in terms of, it's not really divisive within the actual critics. It's only divisive more with the audience, where I felt like Death Stranding was divisive on both fronts. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
It's a bit different. So this is going to be very interesting to see if it does win, and then it really then will illuminate, like, this is all about what the critics thought, not what the actual public thought.
Plus, there's also Cyberpunk coming out this year. I mean,
Ghost of Tsushima already deserves a place in the top 4 of what should win.
I think, Ghost of Tsushima... Doom Eternal, right? I think absolutely definitely deserves to be counted among it.
Final Fantasy 7?
Look, I really loved FF7, but would I say it's on that same level as like Ghost of Tsushima at this point? Personally, not. I don't think it's at that level.
Maybe
I think it's a really great game. I loved it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then as I said, even things like Animal Crossing, where just it captures something and it awakens something in people. And or serves this need. Do you know what I mean? I think that's a thing. I think that's a thing to be recognised. So, and obviously Fall Guys, clearly Game of the Year, top contender right there.
And if Diablo Immortal can come out soon enough, then that could also be counted.
Well, speaking of Diablo Immortal, Sam, nice setup on that one.
Thank you.
Turns out Blizzard people aren't getting paid very well. This is a story that broke this week under Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg.
Yep.
Go and check him out. Subscribe to Bloomberg for like $80 a month or something. But obviously his reporting continues to be excellent, even though he's moved from Kotaku to Bloomberg. He broke a story this week that employees at Blizzard are circulating a spreadsheet with their salaries on it, anonymously, of course, to show pay disparity and how some people are being really, really underpaid. One employee then created a spreadsheet, encouraged staff to share their compensation information. The anonymous document, reviewed by Bloomberg, contains dozens of reported Blizzard salaries and pay bumps. Most of the raises are below 10%, significantly less than Blizzard employees said they expected following the study. So basically, there's just a lot of people here who are earning, particularly at Blizzard, who are earning just around sort of like minimum wage or really, really low salaries compared to other people. QA testing in particular, really underpaid. And just a lot of pay disparity with that organization.
Yeah.
But also pay disparity compared to other organizations. And there's a general theme where, you can leave Blizzard and double your salary overnight. And a lot of people have done that. They have gone from the likes of Blizzard to Riot Games and literally doubled their salary. And that has a huge impact on Blizzard. Jason Schreier was speaking to Blizzard employees, and one of them said, our mentors are leaving in droves. They are leaving for better paying jobs because Blizzard is not paying enough. And when you lose those greybeards and mentors and whatever, you lose the institutional knowledge that an entity like Blizzard carries. And that means, Blizzard is forever changed.
Yeah,
forever
big trouble.
changed.
You cannot rely... Yeah, if the elders are leaving, that's a problem. That's a big problem. But I think that it's so true. Apart from the Riot situation, I feel like there's a lot of stories of a lot of game developers not being paid correctly. That's just the classic story of, anything creative, like if you want to be a musician or an actor or whatever, like anything creative that people do it for the love first, then the money. All these businesses always just, they're never paid correctly, which is such a shame. But I hope in time, that there is going to be more money on the table, especially when we see it'd be different if you had some. If the industry was so tiny that like there was not enough money going around. This is bigger than music and movies combined now. I mean, there is enough money there, and Bobby Kotick's taking $30 million a year.
40 million a year.
You know what I mean? Like
it's
just ridiculous to see us in this situation. But again, anything that people will bend over backwards to be part of that industry because it's creative and fun. These companies will always go, cool, they want to do this, so fuck it, we'll pay them a little bit less.
Yeah, I think some person was
how it is.
Repeatedly approached by Blizzard from their job. They were in another job somewhere else, and then Blizzard kept calling them, being like, come and work for us. And the person's like, okay, well, pay me better, because they would have had to take a pay cut to go to Blizzard. And and then the Blizzard respond, you can't put a price on prestige. And this person's like, yes, you can. You know what I mean? Like, ridiculous. Obviously, people should not be taking pay cuts to go work at Blizzard.
And prestige,
fuck that.
I mean, I'm sorry, but if you're the best in the business, or one of, or used to be the best in the business, prestige, what you're talking about, should be, we're paying for the best because we are the best.
There are stories of people at Blizzard who have to skip meals and stuff because they're not earning enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Blizzard is Blizzard. It's like one of the pillars of video games, and there are people working there that aren't earning enough to be able to buy their lunch. Do you know what I mean?
And it's changed the tide in gaming so many times.
Our editor can afford to buy his lunch, okay? We pay better than Blizzard. That's ridiculous.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
A cheap lunch, though. Okay?
Cheap lunch.
Make sure it's cheap.
Just some me goring, you know?
No, but I just think it's crazy to see that Blizzard has changed the tide in games so many times. It's made so much money, from Diablo 2 to World of Warcraft with its subscription models, to, of course, Overwatch and everything in between. There is just so much money within this corporation. And, of course, it's in the umbrella of Activision. It's not worried about money, It's really not. I would be much more open to this if each earning call for the last 5 years for Activision and Blizzard was in the red, they're really struggling, but that's just not the case.
I think Nintendo executives also put out their earnings recently, and I think they earn $2 or $3 million a year.
Yeah.
Now look, if you're running a company like Nintendo that's making money hand over fist, provides a brilliant service to people who absolutely love it, and you're a top executive in your field, and you're earning $2 to $3 million, I'm okay with that. I don't think that sounds gratuitous. You know what I mean? And also their staff are earning on average, I think at Nintendo, around $86,000 a year. That's an average salary at Nintendo, right?
I'm not against someone that's been working 40 years and reached the CEO position of making some really serious money. But when that is such a huge disparity, when these people can't buy lunch and you're
earning $40 million a year,
and then chilling in a yacht, there's a problem, man.
Totally.
Anyway,
that's that story, guys. I say one other quick follow we forgot to mention is that yes, they're actually doing something about this at Blizzard. Staff are compiling a list of requests, and then management have replied, we're very much looking forward to receiving that list and talking about it.
Yeah, of course.
Sure.
We're not doing 2-minute noodles anymore. We want 3-minute noodles.
Noodles, that's right.
3 minutes.
You can afford a Happy Meal.
Okay.
Hey guys, one story that's actually quite fun. You got to read this quote. This is really good. This is the Avengers team, the Marvel Avengers developer, responds to the criticism around Spidey being exclusive to the PlayStation. Okay, here's what he said.
I love the positive.
This is like Sarah Cooper worthy. Okay, how to game dev. Okay. So the beauty of Spider-Man and what Spider-Man represents as a character and as a world is, again, I come back to the relationship with PlayStation and Marvel. As Mo said, this is a guy from Crystal Dynamics. We happen to be, once you execute and deliver, when it comes down to choices of where and what Spider-Man can be, that's a relationship question that PlayStation absolutely has the rights to, that, as you guys know, with Sony's ownership there, and Marvel saying Sony, hey, this is something we can do, this is something we can do on this platform. And so what we do as creators is, this is an opportunity that we can make something unique and fun and awesome, and that we will just, you just talked about Black Widow, and we're able to have that experience. So we love the idea of being able to bring the character to the PlayStation players as far as everybody goes. We just announced Hawkeye Hawkeye, less than a week ago. We have 2 characters announced with 5 days. The future is bright. People get fixated on one thing as opposed to, oh, by the way, you're going to have hundreds of hours of content and years of storylines coming ahead of us and new worlds and regions and new heroes and more stuff we haven't even announced yet. So, yeah.
That feels uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable.
That was his response to the question of what do you say to PlayStation gamers who are Xbox gamers who are pissed off they can't play Spider-Man?
When I read that, I was just like, this guy was just not prepared. Look,
this is like that Jonathan Swan interview where he gets handed the paper. He looks at it,
yeah. Look, there's no way of putting this forward to the gaming community, especially the hardcore gaming community, that they're going to swallow it. I'm sorry. It's
bullshit,
just
man.
ridiculous. As I said, maybe there was scope to Spider-Man is 1 month on there or some shit. Or maybe you get a certain Spidey skin. Whatever, right? But to complete, this game is all about experiencing the characters, and it's all about, building those characters up, skill tree, you've sectioned off, 1 out of 7 or whatever. It's a decent part of the game that I'm going to see some dude swinging about and going, I can't do that because I have an Xbox. It's ridiculous. And I saw other articles saying, certain characters should now be exclusive on Xbox. That's not the answer. Do you see that?
Answer
I'm like, what is that? That is the dumbest article headline I've ever seen. That does not solve anything. It's tit for tat shit. No, that's not the way going forward.
Sure.
But look, poor guy. Really poor guy. But
obviously he's just rolling. Look, I do feel sorry with this guy. He was doing the best he can. He obviously didn't make this call, and he was just unprepared for what to say about it.
Yeah.
So my heart goes out to what's his name, Scott Amos, right? So no disrespect, Scott. We love you. You did the best you could. But that was not the best showing.
Yes.
The other sad news though is that there's actually more exclusive stuff coming to PlayStation.
Kind of in the line of what we were just saying about skins and whatever.
For the Avengers game, right? They announced additional features unique to PlayStation. They're not as big as the Spidey thing, but you will get, what is it here? It says here...
Community challenges?
PlayStation players will have 30-day exclusive access to a legendary outfit, legendary emote, epic takedown, and nameplate for each superhero as they're released. This is also for the 6 launch heroes. In addition, we also have rewards for those with PlayStation Plus subscription for each superhero added to the game post-launch, Hawkeye included. All PS Plus members will receive free bundle that contains a rare outfit, nameplate, and 100 credits to celebrate the addition of another Avengers to the roster. At launch, we'll have a free bundle for Ms. Marvel available to PS Plus members. So blah, 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 more stuff. It's not that important. It's timed exclusive cosmetic content. Nothing on the scale of having Spider-Man exclusive, but it still sucks.
There's also, if you go up a little bit more, there's community challenges, I think, that are going to be unique to PlayStation.
Did they say that?
Yeah, I read that. Where is it now?
It's cosmetics.
Community challenges.
Where does it say?
Community challenges. I believe there's going to be one or two. A new community challenge will take place. I believe that is going to be just for the PlayStation. There's going to be at least one community challenge that is just for PlayStation.
Did not know that.
And interesting. That does suck. And look. We've said this before. We've said it before. We've seen it before with Xbox when they had the power. It sucks. It'll continue to happen. The next gen is going to have more of this shit. They don't listen to it. They don't listen to the community. But what do you do? Yep. What do you do?
You go and play Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Sam.
If you have a terabyte free,
which is now 227 gigabytes on PC.
That's just insane.
That's the story.
My Razer couldn't download that.
Your laptop couldn't download this game.
My Razer can't download that because I've got the 2017 version with the 256. But there's 30 gigs of just iOS, of the Windows, what's it called? Installation stuff, right? I can't download that. That's ridiculous.
And the thing is, it's so annoying because on consoles you can actually partition off and you can uninstall multiplayer, you can uninstall the campaign, you can uninstall whatever you like, but on PC you can't. It's all just still one package.
That's weird, isn't it?
I don't know why they've done that because I looked around at it yesterday because I'm like, you know what, fuck this, I'm going to fix this. And I Googled everywhere and I'm like, wait a second, what? So that's it. If you're on console, you can reduce the size of this, but on PC, it's stuck at 227 gigabytes. That's a joke, but what do you do? Nothing much. You just play the game because, as I said, it's
2 minutes to go.
It's actually a good game. We've got another. What have we got here? He says, Chris B says, Game Awards is a nod to the Oscars, so it will be heavily weighted towards insiders and professional reviewers. We need a People's Choice Award. I think
People's Choice Award may be the answer in future if people really don't don't like the answer of this
Well,
Game
no,
Awards.
it has a People's Choice component.
Does it?
Yes.
Oh, it does. Sorry,
part
it
of
does.
it is weighted for People's Choice, and part of it is weighted
It's
for
like
critics.
1/10 though.
Yeah,
it's so small.
really small. Colton DK, thank you very much, Colton, for the
Thank
Donkey
you, Cole.
Kong
We always
coins.
see you here, buddy.
Hunter Holiday says, sending some money so Sam can buy a slightly more expensive lunch. There you
Appreciate
go.
that.
2 things of me, Goran.
I can get a large beef chicken meal with an extra meat chicken burger.
Red Maze for $5 says, greeting gents, thanks for giving us news. Ralph, your Hunt Showdown review got me to buy it. I'm having a blast. What prompted you to review it? Just because I kept hearing all of these people that I respect talking about how good it was. I remember watching Jack Fragg's video ages ago, and he was loving it. And I'm like, whoa, okay, this looks pretty cool. But just general buzz. All these people would at me on Twitter being like, you have to play Hunt Showdown. It's amazing. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
So eventually I did, and it is. So go and play Hunt Showdown. They're just about to add a spectator mode as well, which is nice. So go and check that. And Garth is here. Party on, Garth.
Party on, man.
He says, no, but for real, where the thick boy ludes. We've got to open up our OnlyFans.
It will
We've got to get that
take,
going.
the actual footage would be 227 gigs.
Yeah, he's above.
Because he's so thick
just
and
one
big.
image. Just one
image.
Guys, just in case you missed it, there is a Night City Wire coming up on August 10th at 6 p.m. CEST. That is 2 a.m. Sydney time, which means that we won't be streaming it, sadly. If it were something else, we might consider it. If it were like the reveal of the PlayStation 6. But I think this one we can look to cover this at some other point. If you're interested, go and check out the Twitter account for the details. It's on August 10th at 6 p.m. CEST. That is exciting stuff. We love more Cyberpunk news. We also have, here's one funny story actually. Here's a headline. Take-Two says, next-gen software price hikes reflect the quality of the experience.
Yes.
From Take-Two.
So we saw this I've had 2 weeks ago now or so, when Take-Two announced, I don't even know if they announced it. I think it was leaked in some sort of photo or whatever. $10 extra for the next gen. It was going to be $69 or whatever for current. So $60 for the current and $70 for next gen. Of course, there's been a lot of backlash, and they've come out, and said it's going to reflect the quality of the experience. What's the difference apart from the graphics? That's just utterly ridiculous. But it's just, of course, them wanting to make more money. As we've said before too, that we do believe that there's a space for games to go up in value.
Sure.
Last 15 years, they've kind of gone down in reality. Like in Australia, to the US dollar.
Price-wise. Oh yeah, sure.
They have, right? So we understand if games in general need to go up $10. I understand that there's a space for that in the future that needs to happen. Is it right now in the middle of a pandemic and all this kind of stuff? And a lot of people are like, it's bad timing.
And is Take-Two the company to lead the charge on that, given that every one of their games is stuffed full to bursting with garbage microtransactions? No, they're not the company that should be preaching this. I mean, if there was some, developer that just puts out discrete single-player games and they work on them for 5 years and there's no monetization afterwards and they want to charge me $10 extra for that because prices go up, I'm okay with that. But if you have a business that is specifically designed to rake in as much microtransaction revenue as possible, and then you're like, actually, we want to charge you more for the box price as well, I'm not okay with that. So fuck you, Take-Two. I really hate Take-Two. I really do. I think they're such a garbage company. Guys, here's some good news. Speaking of garbage companies, Epic. No, I'm joking. We don't hate Epic.
Look, we're warming up to them slowly.
They give us free games. They do. They give us free games.
And some of them are actually decent. A Remnant from the Ashes. We play this. We reviewed this.
This is a great game.
This was a really good light Dark Souls in the way that it wasn't too hard. It was okay.
It was just the right amount of difficulty, I think.
Yeah. And we played it co-op. We had a blast doing it. I think it's a really solid game to check out. To see this now on Epic Games Store.
Next week, actually. It's coming out for free on the Epic Games Store alongside the Alto Collection, which I don't know what it is.
I don't know what that is, but we do know what Remnant is. Now, you should check that out. Really good game. Look, that's worth buying, let alone getting for free.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
Totally worth it. So go check that out. Speaking of things to check out,
the last thing, this is the toss, okay?
All right.
This is the toss.
Here we go. Firm handshakes all around, everybody.
All around. The dog is
handshakes
back.
all around.
He's back on. He's streaming now on YouTube. He actually went live yesterday with a troll. He basically just streamed out like an animated GIF for like 2 or 3 hours.
It looked like 6 hours.
He had like 300,000 viewers while he was doing that. It was just hyping up the fact that he would be back on today.
Yeah.
Last I checked, at the start of this stream, he was live streaming Call of Duty Season 5. He had about 250,000 viewers when I was watching him then.
Yep.
So obviously, many people are very happy to see the doc back. He maintains that he does not know why he was banned from Twitch. Anyone with a brain maintains that that's got to be fucking bullshit. This guy knows why he got banned from Twitch. He just doesn't want to say so. Like, that's crazy.
And if he doesn't want to say it, he just wants to move on. Maybe we just all just be like, cool, whatever, man. Like, that's just what, like...
The fact that he is willing to just move on from that. The fact that he isn't thumping the table, being like, tell me, Twitch, why I was banned. The fact that he isn't doing that, I think, tells you that he doesn't want to talk about that. He just wants to move on.
I think he does know.
Of course.
But he's like, I'm just not really vibing talking about why this is. There could be some, I don't know, allegations or whatever, or I don't know, right? We don't know, but he obviously does want to get into it. He doesn't want to pound the pavement, pound every door on Twitter and go, guys, back me. I want to know what's going on here, because he probably already knows.
The known esports commentator, says that he knows. He did tweet the fact a while ago that he knows why the doc was themed, but he has not told anyone, and he refuses to tell anyone why doc was banned. So apparently, Slasher knows why the doc was banned, but the doc doesn't know why the doc was banned. Doc doesn't want to talk about why he was banned and doesn't want anyone to raise that topic. He just wants to move on. He's now streaming live on YouTube, and he basically, he's just doing his thing.
511,000 peak viewers, someone
511,000, crazy. So look, it's good to see him back. I like the doc, you know what I mean? I like watching his content, you know what I mean? I'm glad that he's back on this platform. I don't know what he did to get off that the platform, and that I think is still something we need to find out. But personally, I really like his content. I really think he's, like, of all the streamers that I've watched, he's kind of the one that I enjoy watching the most, because I feel like he's just putting it all on the line. You know what I mean? Like, he's really putting on the show.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see him back, but I do wish that he would just front up and talk about what happened. You know what I mean? I really wish he could be, like, honest about that.
Totally.
Anyway,
we got some super chats, and then we are wrapping it up, everybody.
He says, what do we got? Let's see. He says, Desert Eagles here. He says, love your content, guys. You showed me the glory of PC. Very pleased to hear that, my friend. You'll never go back. Brian says, I love you guys. I've yet to miss a video on both this and Skill Up channel. Ralph, you're by far my favorite reviewer. Sam, you suck.
Sam's cool too?
I ad-libbed on
Is that all I get?
Joey's Got Jokes is back. Welcome back, Joey. Hey, Ralph and Sam. Thanks for bringing us some tune-worthy content on the daily, despite these trying times that keep us informed and less ignorant to the injustices going on behind the scenes. Joey, we love you. Thank you, as always. And Francois says his lawyer probably told him to shut the fuck up about his ban.
Yeah.
That's totally what happened. So anyway, that's that. Guys, that is the end of the show. That is the stream. We had a great week. Thank you very much for being here. We will be back same time next week with more Layman Live. We love you.
Layman out, everybody.
Are we doing the thing?